So what do we do on Shavuos? Two minhagim, because Shavuos doesn't have any mitzvahs. Unlike Chag HaSukkos, which has sukkah and lulav, unlike Chag HaMatzos, which has many, many mitzvahs, Shavuos has no specific mitzvah besides Simchas Yom Tov. So Shavuos is all about minhagim. Two fundamental minhagim. One is you're up all night, Shavuos by night. The other minhag is blinches. Two minhagim of Shavuos. Cheesecake and being up all night. We can appreciate why we're up all night Shavuos. It's Yom Kabbalas HaTorah. Where does cheesecake come into the picture? Psochem Samaches. There's a machlokes Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua. The two Barei Plukta, greatest Tanoim. How do we reconcile a stira between two psukim? Atzeres ti Elochem and Atzeres LaHashem. Rabbi Eliezer says you could choose Yoshev V'Shoina or Yoshev V'Oichel V'Shoisa. One of the two. Simchas Yom Tov has two different formulas, and everyone could choose. Either I'm going to dedicate the entire Yom Tov to Talmud Torah and Tefillah, or Achila V'Shtia. Rabbi Yeshua says no. Chetzyo Lochem and Chetzyo Lashem. It is a combination of both. Yom Tov should be a day of spiritual growth, Torah and Tefillah, but also Achila V'Shtia, Simchas HaGuf and Simchas HaNefesh. And then the Belosa says, Hakal Moedim Batzeres, the Be'inam Beinam Elochem. Even a Eliezer that says you could decide to dedicate the entire day learning and davening, Atzeres Shavuos is different. Shavuos need to be Lochem, Oichel V'Shoisa. Why? Yom Shaboy Nitne Torah. And that is counterintuitive. If anybody were to ask us, which of the three, Sholosh Regalim, you're entitled to learn all day, I think any one of us would say Shavuos. Why? For the very same reason the Gemara gives to the opposite. Because Yom Shenitna by Torah. But the Gemara says no. But Tzeres, you need Simchas HaGuf. Why? Yom Shenitna Torah. Does that make sense? Kosev Rashi. Laharois shenoyach v'mekubel olav yom zeh shebo nitno Torah liYisrael. You need to show that you love this day. It's such a happy day, and therefore, be happy, and be happy in every form. Achila v'shtia. Why is that? Kachi da'aka shel Torah. Pas b'melech toichel, mayim b'mesura tishta, ala oretz tishan, v'chayet tzar tichya. That is da'aka shel Torah. It seems to be somewhat unpleasant, frightening. Is that what we choose? Is that the way we choose to live? Pas b'melech toichel, mayim b'mesura tishta, ala oretz tishan. But don't take a breath. Keep on. What does the Brisa say? Im ato oisekein, ashrecha b'yolam hazeh v'toiv l'chol yolam habo. Not only yolam habo, yolam hazeh as well. Rashi. And Rashi is the great Pashtin. Rosh HaMedabrim. All the Balatoises were his Talmidim v'Talmida Talmidav. Rashi says, it is not that what we strive to. We don't want that life. Pas b'melech toichel b'mayim b'msurat tishta. Is not what we want for ourselves. The kavanah is, even in the most dire circumstances, even in a time which chas v'sholem, all you will have is pas b'melech and mayim b'mesura, v'aloretz tishon, af al piken, learn Torah, and you will have a happy life. Imata oiseken. But it is not what we should be doing. And we hope HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give us shefa and bracha, and we will have a comfortable life. The command of the Mishnah is, even if chas v'sholem you won't, And even if Chas v'Sholom all you will have would be pas b'melech, v'mayim b'mesura, v'anoretz tishon, af al pi ken, you still could have an unbelievably rewarding and happy life. U'b'Torah ta'omer. And if you do so, ashrecha b'yolam hazeh, v'toiv lecha la'olam habo. Many, many years ago, I met a person, and he told me he learned in Lakewood, and it was the first kfutzu where Rabban Kotler was miyaseh the yeshiva. And he knew his Talmidim. Today, no Rosh Yeshiva knows his Talmidim. The yeshivas are so big today, you can't remember your Talmidim. But the bigger problem is, most of them don't even care to know their Talmidim. But Chazal teach us, V'shinantam levonecho, elu ha-Talmidim. Talmidim should be like your children. Everybody knows his children. You should know your Talmidim. So this guy learned in Lakewood, and then he got married, he went into business, he was very successful, and he meets Rabban Kotler at a wedding many years later. And Rabban asks him, where are you? I haven't seen you for ages. You never come to a shia, don't come to yeshiva. And he says, Rabban, the yeshiva remembers me. I wasn't the biggest masbid in the yeshiva, and I wasn't the top of the class. And Baruch Hashem, I'm successful in business, and I have a Yesachah Zavul, an agreement with 5 Yungalite. Isn't that the greater thing for me to do? And Rabban tells him, he responds, I'm Mekana your Olam Haba. Well, what type of an Olam Hazard do you have? He asked him, if you never come to a shir, you never learn, you don't enjoy your learning. So I'm concerned about your Olam Hazard, not about your Olam Haba. Your Haba would be great. You have 5 Yesachah Zavulans. So we want to instill in the hearts of our children Torah. Learning Torah is like cheesecake. And if you dedicate your life to Torah, it's not only about Olam Haba, it's about Olam Hazeh. Every Wednesday night, I give a shir in Bnei Brak. And this week, a young boy runs in a modern school, asked whether he could come along in my car when I go to Bnei Brak. He wants to talk to me. And he said, please, I'll be happy. And this boy was so devastated and in turmoil, and it's so difficult for him, Yiddishkeit, and he asked why. Why do we need to do all this? Why is the Torah so hard? I can't eat this, and I can't eat that, and I can't look here, and I can't look there. And I had so much rachmanis on this young boy, and I need to encourage him and say, well, in the beginning it might be hard, but this is the life that will bring you the greatest happiness and the greatest fulfillment, and persevere, keep on track. And I promise you, you will reach a stage in which you will really appreciate what it is to live as a frum Jew. So last week I was in America, and I met many people. And one of the people I met was approximately my age, and he was said to have a lot of money. People told me he's a billionaire. Our meeting wasn't about money. I didn't ask him for money, but I got to see him, and he asked me, how many children do you have? And I said I had 7 children, and he says, how many grandchildren do you have? I don't want to say the number, Mishum Ein Abisha, but a lot. And then he gives a sigh, and he says, I have 4 children, and none of them is married yet. My oldest son just got engaged to a Moroccan girl, and he doesn't seem to be very happy about it. And my daughters are not up to getting married, and he says, my dream is to have an Einikel. My dream is to have a grandson. And I had so much rachmanis on this person. It really broke my heart. He's a billionaire, but he has no happiness in life. Well, what is his life about? None of his children are married yet. And that's the modern world. It's not something which is very uncommon. So if you live a Torah life, Ashrecha b'yolam hazeh, v'toiv lacho la'olam haba. So a person recently told me, I don't feel comfortable even saying this over, but it's such a powerful statement. And he said, if la'acha mea ve'eslem, I will discover that everything I believed in is chas v'sholem sheker, I would live this same life over again and I would do nothing differently. Because I had a wonderful life. Big family, loving family. My elderly years, my kids cared for me. I enjoyed every Shabbos in my life. It was wonderful. I enjoyed davening. It gave me so much growth and so much feeling. Well, chas v'sholem, la'achamei v'esem, that is when we really see the light. And that is when we will really see what is emes, and chesoma shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu emes. But it's a very powerful statement. And that is why, yes, Shavuos has to do with cheesecake. Laharois shenoyach v'mekubel olav yom zeh shebo nitne Torah liYisrael. We want to instill in the hearts of our children, if this is the path you choose, this is happiness, this is simcha saguf v'hanefesh, and that is what Shavuos is about. Im ato oise ken, ashrecha b'yolam hazeh, v'toiv l'cho la'olam haba. So there are two different minhagim regarding the vash v'cholav tachas l'shoincho. When do we eat the melech yesuda? Our minhag is Shabbos Shavuos in the morning. We have a kiddush, and that's when we eat the cheesecake and the blinches and the burekas. Minhag Ashkenaz, and many kehelas many years ago, was the Shavuos night Suda. Is the melech one. I like the second minhag, or the first minhag I quoted. Yes, blinches and cheesecake are part of Shavuos, but that's not the way to start Yom Kabbalah Torah. No. After you're up all night, and you didn't even say one davar bottle, you didn't speak dvarim b'teilim, either you said Tekan Leil Shavuos, or you learned Be'iyan all night. In the morning, Bedin hu sheyitel scharai. So in the morning, you can have your blinches and your cheesecake. But that comes after Leil Shavuos, not before. It's not the way to start Shavuos. Blinches is not the way to be makabel Yom Tov of Yom Kabbalah Torah. You were up all night, you learned, you said Berachas HaTorah with fervor in the morning, then you could have your cheesecake. Laharois shenoyach v'mekubel olav, yom zeh shebo nitno Torah liYisrael. Have a beautiful Yom Tov, and each and every one of us should be makabel ol Torah and oil malchus shemayim ba'ahava. Good Shabbos.